My dear child, when I give you a promise, it may happen immediately or it may take a time, but it will never happen when you wish it to. So, because you never think whether you are prepared for it or not, when you keep on wishing it for happen. So that is the reason why I always says trust me, because I will give what I promised only when you are prepared for it, so that you will never lose it from your life for any reason. So trust me, and I will never give you a false promise, and if I said I will do it. So always remember, blessed is the one who believed what I promised will fulfill. So my child, know that sometimes when you ask me for something, instead of getting what you have asked, you may get something else. So it is not because you did not pray for it properly, but because I know what is best for you. So, as a because you are my child, I will only give you only the best. So, trust me, and I will give you the best that no one ever can give. So, waiting is too hard, but waiting till my perfect time is better. So, do you think whether without having a plan or a reason, and I will let you wait for some things. So, while you wait, you just only think about the blessing what you are waiting for, but I have a lot of other blessings for you. So, through your waiting. So trust me, and it in its perfect time, everything will happen. So my child, know that you don't have to love your difficult days in order to love yourself. And it is okay to feel hurt and overwhelmed and when you go through hardships and pain. So, to truly love yourself is to accept and even the parts of you that are not healed yet. So, it means embracing the journey no matter how impossible it feels to keep going some days. So, it means to trust yourself more than you trust your circumstances, and it means to go through the hard days and still be willing to show up every day for your own self. So, my child, know that there are times in life when holding on to some things takes you away from the life you are truly worthy of. And sometimes the only choice you will have is to let go and trust and see where life takes you. I know it is not easy, and this trusting in the unknown, this carrying on in a dark and never ending path. But you will find out along the way that even though it is hard, it is also full of wonderful opportunities. So, if you are willing to endure through those temporary moments of difficult, and if you are brave enough to choose the life you deserve. So, my child, know that your patience and dedication is paying off, and a big breakthrough is coming. There is no need to rush things. Instead, focus on each step ahead of you. So, put the blinders on and focus on your life. So, don't get lost in how everyone else is living, and focus on protecting your energy and prioritizing your needs. So, resting and recharging are crucial for you to maintain the positive momentum you are generating. So, lock in on your dreams and exhibit extreme patience. So, my child, know that God loves you enough to remove anyone from your life, and that does not align with His purpose and plan for you. Instead of running after them, compromising who you are to make them stay, and choose to let them go and allow God to restore your broken heart and find home in Him again. So, God cannot aid until you learn to let go, and when one door closes, He will always open up another. So, every loss is repaid with gain. So, my child, know that. Stop worrying about what others people think of you and focus on yourself instead. Focus on what makes you happy. Focus on what makes your soul feel at peace. You are your biggest commitment, so start loving your flaws, your awareness, your weirdness, your intensity, and your vulnerability. Life becomes so much more fulfilling when you are simply yourself. The world keeps spinning whether people understand you or not, so why not make the next trip around the sun about you? My child, know that the ideal version of you does not exist. You do. You are one in a million because you are you. So you don't have to hide your imperfections to make someone fall for you. You don't need to be flawless to be loved. No one is perfect, and the idea of perfection is unattainable. So you are unique in our own way, and your uniqueness is what makes you irreplaceable. The real you is far more special than the ideal version of you, and be completely yourself, and you will find the person who is right for you. So stay true to yourself, and the ones who love you will do the same to you. So, if someone really loves you, they will love everything about you, and you will always be the best for them. They will embrace your chows and mess, and they will allow you to express yourself in a plain and honest way. So they will make you feel safe enough to reveal yourself as you really are, and they will love you at your worst. Liberate yourself from the need to be who you think you should be, and love is supposed to set you free. So, perfection does not matter, so forget it, and your truth matters, so leave it. My child, know that. Your butterfly cocoon is opening, your wings are getting ready to spread, and your spirit is getting ready to fly. Lift your face up to the universe and breathe in the new air that has entered your life. The portal to your has finally opened, and you are ready to walk through it. And the time you have spent evolving your soul has been preparing you for this very moment. Step out of your last chapter with faith and step into your new life with confidence. What you deserve is already on its way to you, and the dream, the love, the health, and the abundance. And you are standing in the perfect spot to receive it all. So get ready to be completely amazed with what comes next. So, my child, know that. When you let go of the beliefs that limits you, you allow success beyond what you can perceive for yourself. A new path require new thinking. Start by holding yourself accountable for the role you play in the creation of the life you want. Work on your healing and commit to what makes your soul happy. You are infinite potential, so stop doing things your way. Surrender to a new way as a powerful creator of solution. So my child, know that. There is nothing more exhausting than not living up to your full potential, and holding back your blessings and your greatness is an exhausting task. You will know when you are resisting the call, when you constantly feel exhausted. So, what is stopping you from being yourself? What needs to happen in order for you to finally go after your dreams and give it your all? So, you have got to try, at least give in a shot, and you will never know if you never try, and the regret of not trying is much more difficult to live with than the embarrassment of one small failure. So, my child, know that you have been presented with a lot of open doors in your life and that you choose not to walk through in the moment, either because of fear, doubt, or other circumstances that lead you to walk away. But the current climate of your elevated energy creates a revolving doors of those opportunities. So they are manifestations that have been ready for you, but you were not ready for them, and that is changed now. So you have a ton of wrapped gifts that have been waiting for your attention. Life is about to get even more interesting for you. My child, know that the ego is always in a hurry and it constantly wants to do something. The moment you slow down or take a break, you realize how impatient it gets when you log out of the doing mode, and there is a need for control and dominance that makes the ego stress over doing more. No matter how fast you can run, but if you are running in the wrong direction, it would not make you happy. For the spirit, it is not about doing, it is about being, feeling aligned while doing something is far more important than doing just for the doing sake. So, a deep awareness is needed to help you overcome the uneasiness that you feel when you are just being. The deep awareness that comes from beyond the ego. So, let go, be present, and unreveal the magic of being. Fear weakness your immunity and love raise your vibration because it is the highest frequency in the universe. Many times your ego will try to resist a new, unfamiliar, or even and what is good for you because ego is false self and it represents separation or lack based mindset. Step into the most empowered version of you and move through what scares you the most courageously. Because that is where you will find your greatest strength. Fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real. My child, know that. I hope you know that you have nothing to prove, and I know it does not always feel that way. I know how easy it is to get wrapped up in other people's opinion. And even when you try not to, you fall into the trap of tying your words to your achievements. Like a packed resume is proof that you are something special. So, and it feels like you need to show people, see what I can do. And do you see that I'm enough? And can you see my worth and usefulness? So, but you don't actually need to prove that, and you don't need to show people that you are important. Outward success does not make you more worthy of someone's energy, and you are already worthy of love and respect and acceptance and everything good in this world. So, and I hope whatever path you choose in life, you don't choose is slowly to prove something, because there is no end to that path and there is no peace down that road. And I promise you are already so incredibly worthy and important and needed. It has been true since the day you were born, and you have spent enough time trying to prove your worth. So let this next chapter be written with your worthiness already tied to every single word. So, my child, know that. Welcome to the darkening of the light, just like winter or the dark night of the soul. And we need darkness to ultimately find the light. So, we need darkness as a will to what is growing beneath the surface, and what surface is your endurance to channel your crisis into change. So it is time to surrender your heart and soul to the universe and shed like a snake what no longer serves you. So let go and flow with where the stream of life wants you to go. So listen to the rhythm and beat of your heart. So surrender your soul to the alluring pull of what you desire and release your fears and doubts, child of the universe. So the stars and angels are always supporting you, and you are exactly where you need to be right now. So when the world is dark, your inner light shines bright. So my child, know that. Are you trying to be positive while waiting for life to get easier and praying for things to change? And that just brings anxiety, stress, and eventually hopelessness. So every day there is no change is more disappointment. Not cool, find the positive and get okay with how life is now. So no more waiting for change. Today is what you have got. Make the best of it and grateful, and you get to live this day. So your emotional health, your connection to God are what determine if you are okay or not, and it is not in your circumstances, it is in you. So your emotional health, your connection to God are what determine if you are okay or not. It is not your circumstances, it is in you. So you give it your all, you pushed as far as you could, and you did everything that your soul could carry. Say you love them with everything your heart had to give, and you risk it all for them. Say to them, and you did not know what to do at that moment. Only that you know what you did not, and only that you wish you could have taken it back. So, only that some things needed to happen so you could be the person you are today. And then tell them you were hurting too. So, you had pain and you did not know how to feel. You had anger with no course to take, and you were lost, beaten, and wildly wandering. And just figuring it all out, because the thing is, you can't blame yourself forever. And we have all been children once, and we have all been lost, and we have all been pretty, and we have all wished life easier. We have all hurt people and been hurt, and we have all secretly obsessed for a miracle to land on our laps. And that is the person you used to be. Those are the paths you have already taken. So be easier on yourself, and you are choosing who you are right now. So you have learned what was painful, and you now understand a little more about yourself and life. And so don't let your pain stop you from moving forward, and let the cycle end here. So, my child, know that we have all got a story. Some are more tragic than others, but each with its own share of hardships and times when fairness was not on your side. So, unfortunately, society loves comparing our struggles, and when the focus shifts to who is hurting more, and we miss the point. And the sooner we can accept that many of the battles we will ever fight are internal, and everyone has them, and the sooner we can support one another. So, every day that you decide to get out of bed, take responsibility for your existence, choose love over hate, and healing over resentment. So you are a superhero putting on a cap, and there is so much to be sad about and angry over, and so much unfairness and injustice running and rampant in the world. But it wanes when we give up on love and peace, and when external circumstances consume our destined will to thrive, and we miss out on life. So you have more fight in you than you know, and my hope is that we can spend more time reflecting and encouraging others to battle through their circumstances instead of taking beats. and on which circumstances is more difficult to overcome. And if we can't agree that everyone struggles, we can at least agree that the world pressures us differently and the intensity of social expectations reaches us well all. So just as we can't truly compare struggles, we can't compete over successes. My child noted. For some, successes looks like taking a shower today and eating a complete meal. For others, it is impressing a boss. And for some, it is remaining patient with their children despite being overblamed for others. So it is supporting a student and preventing them from going down a dark path in life. So there are a dozen versions of success and you can experience in a day that you will miss out on, and if it is not the version of success you compare yourself to. So but every win is worth celebrating. So never let the world or a bad situation or an unfair circumstances tell you are not doing your best with what you have got. So my child, know that if you could make a list of everything you have ever worried about, everything you thought and you would never get over, so every answer you thought you would never find. So every fear you thought would be the end of you, and you would realize that you don't even think about most of them anymore. So without you realizing, they all passed and your story became clear. And as time goes on, you will begin to see the magic in the process and you will begin to understand why things had to unfold precisely the way they did. And you will realize that if you did not have the exact experiences you had just as you had them, and you would have missed out on some essential lessons and tools and pieces of wisdom that built you into the person you are today. So, the person who will keep walking you forward. When you look back on the past, you can see the purpose in how everything unfolded, and I'm here to tell you that one day. So, you will see it in what is happening right now, and you just have to keep going. And one day you are going to look back on this time and realize you were always right where you were meant to be. So, my child, know that when we speak to children with kindness and respect, we help them to feel value and empower. So, we also encourage them to believe in their own abilities and potential, and this can help them to develop a strong sense of self esteem, and which is essential for their overall well being. And furthermore, when we speak to children as if they're wise and magical, we help to foster their imagination and creativity. So, this can lead to a greater sense of curiosity and a desire to learn and explore the world around them. It is also encourage them to think critically and develop their own unique perspectives. On the other hand, if we speak to children with negatively or criticism, it can have a detrimental effect on their self-esteem and confidence. So they may begin to doubt their abilities and feel less motivated to try new things or take a risk. So they may also develop negative beliefs about themselves that can be difficult to overcome later in life. And in essence, the way we speak to our children can shape their beliefs, attitudes, and values. So, by speaking to them with kindness, respect, and encouragement. So, we can help them to become the best version of themselves and achieve their full potential. So, we have been thinking and praying about the realities of mental health in our world, and because it is an area where we have a real concern and calling. So, when we went to school to get our doctorates in psychology, it was because we had a burden to help people in the church be healthier emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So, this month we will be theming our all topics, and specifically we will look at integrating mental and emotional health with faith in Jesus. So our prayer is that this postage will remove the shame, judgment, and isolation around mental health challenges that many people face. So together we will gain more understanding of mental health issue and how they relate to discipleship to Jesus and how to treat all people with empathy and dignity. So dear God, some of you, the hardest moments of my life have prepared for me the kind of courage I would never have had if life had been easy. And this does not mean that what I want to experience pain or that getting hurt does not bother, but it means that rather than seeing pain as a hindrance to my growth, so pain has allowed me to understand how fleeting everything is and how temporary the good times can be and just how unpredictable life is. And pain allowed me to understand the importance of learning about myself and what would be good for me. So, pain pushed me to change, grow, and shape myself in new ways. And I'm not saying that pain is something we should all experience in order to reach those places. So, but what I'm saying in this hurting will not stop you from being your happiest self one day. And in fact, it might even give you the strength that you need to get there sooner. So listen to the voice of your inner child, heed the voice of the child within, and it does not speak to you with words but with the silent language of the heart. So your inner child cannot lie and it speaks with purity and truth. See or feel how it smiles. So you are now ready to encounter beautiful moments on your soul path and you have become wiser and freer and you celebrate and have a fun whenever you wish. So your inner child is delighted by your wilderness and renewed playfulness. Put flowers in your hair, have a fun with your inner child and grant him or her a wish. So, in return, you will receive a gift that this world cannot buy time. The inner child within you has the power to expand time, and it can take you to a place where time passes more slowly and play enjoy yourself, rise above the absurd construct of time in which you live. So, but which in truth has absolutely nothing to do with you. So, hear the whispers that reach you gently and softly and live your life in play, and you are free of time. So, my child, know that. So, tell me how big is your heart? Is it big enough to remember little things like how many spoons of sugar I like in many morning coffee? So, or how many times I pretend to be on my new phone in a crowded room that gives me social anxiety? And is it big enough to forgive a little? So, on days I get too consumed by things I'm doing that I look like I'm in a bubble, or on days I get distracted in the middle of conversation and cut you off in the middle. And is it a big enough to love a little more on days and I feel worthless and gloomy, and on days I feel it is all rushing by? So it is big enough to embrace kindness from stranger, and is it big enough to remember all important moments while we create new ones? So is it big enough to understand that sometimes we can love cities, culture, stories and not just people? So tell me how big is your heart? Type yes if you have faith and trust in God, and if you want your all wishes comes true, type amen. And if you like this video, please do subscribe my channel for more encouraging God words.